Each time I do a review on 13 mini, it does really well on my channel. My most viewed videos are 13 mini related, and viewer to subscriber ratio doesn't even make sense. Even when I had less than 1k subs, my views were in 5 digits. So if it were on a bigger channel, the views will be even higher. So these facts keeps me thinking, if this phone is so popular and has a huge fan base behind it, why did Apple discontinue it? Besides the data, I have a few hypotheses which I wanna talk about in this video. To talk about the specs, the 13 mini has a 5.4-inch display with 60Hz refresh rate. Internally, you're getting a previous year's A15 Bionic chip, the same chip as this year's non-Pro iPhone 14 and 14 Plus. 4 gigs of RAM, 2400 milliamps of battery, with the fast charging capabilities of 12 watts. The cameras get 4K 60 frames per second with 12 megapixels on both sides, having one standard and an ultra-wide lens. So why did Apple eliminate the mini device that some iPhone customers had come to love? So Apple debuted the mini version iPhone in 2020 with the first iPhone 12 mini. Until then, a lot of users were asking for a compact iPhone with all the latest features, and we thought that mini version lineup is gonna stay for the years to come. But this year with the iPhone 14 lineup, there were no more mini version iPhones. So that makes the iPhone 13 mini the last Apple's compact flagship iPhone. So the reason for discontinuing the mini version iPhone starts with the sales data from iPhone 12 mini. In October and November 2020, according to data gathered by Consumers Intelligence Research Partners, CIRP, reported that the iPhone 12 mini accounted for only 5% of all iPhone 12 sales in the US. So what I can't seem to understand is, if this phone was so popular, why were the sales so low? If you look at the data, you can pinpoint this to one fact. In April 2022, CIRP released more data suggesting that the iPhone 13 mini accounted for just 3% of iPhone 13 sales, half of that of iPhone 12 mini. These continued poor sales were likely the main reason behind the demise of the mini form factor iPhone. Besides this sales data, I have few hypotheses why they discontinued the mini version iPhone. The number one hypothesis is that being the smallest iPhone or the cheapest one in the lineup is giving it negative image, and maybe it's hurting some people's ego. That's all I can say. And if you think about it, a few years back, a phone this size wouldn't even be considered a mini. I still to this day own an iPhone XS. I bought it when it came out back in 2018, and iPhone XS has a screen size of 5.8 inches, which is only 0.4 inches more than this mini version iPhones. And at that time, a 5.8-inch screen size is considered a flagship size. And few years later, we started getting bigger and bigger phones that went up to 6.1 and 6.8 inches on Pro and Pro Maxes. And now suddenly the mini version iPhones are seemingly too small when you compare them to the larger iPhones. My second hypothesis, which is more concerning for the people who don't belong in the first category, is the battery life. Having a compact phone is really helpful on a day-to-day basis when you want to pull out your phone from your pocket, or you just want to carry it in your hands, which is less heavy and also more handy to use. And also the flip side of having a compact phone is having a smaller battery. It will be against physics to have a bigger battery in a smaller phone. So you have to deal with the shorter battery life compared to the larger phones out there. For me, thankfully, on a normal working day, I can easily get a whole day out of my iPhone 13 mini. And if it were to die on a normal day, I would question my usage. And on a day where I am out and about taking pictures and videos, I find myself having to charge more than once, and it's almost impossible to stretch the battery life. But thankfully, I have found some solutions to using a compact phone with a lower battery life. So I have been using the Benks wireless charger Go for the past few weeks now, and I absolutely love this thing. Not because this is a review unit, but honestly I was looking for something like this in the market. This is a 10,000 milliampere power bank from Benks, which is called the On-Go Kickstand Power Bank. This powerful portable charger features a sleek design that easily attaches to your phone. It has a versatile built-in aluminum kickstand, so you can have them standing on your desk or use your phone in vertical or horizontal mode. The power bank itself charges easily with the included USB-C charging cable, and its charging light indicates the remaining battery level in real time. With 10,000 milliampere battery capacity, you can charge up to 5 times for a phone like Mini. It's also super lightweight and it has a portable design, and it supports 7.5 watts wireless charging and 12 watts wired charging. And it also supports all the iPhone models like iPhone 14, 13 and anything below that supports a MagSafe or wireless charging. And my final hypothesis is that there's a third group of people who doesn't belong in the first two categories. And I count myself as one of these people. Maybe the 30% people who buys a Pro model each year actually prefers a compact iPhone if it were to have all the Pro features. So one of the sacrifices that we have to make by using a phone like 13 mini is that it doesn't come with all the Pro features. For example, I would like to see this phone having a telephoto lens, and I would like to see this phone having a higher refresh rate like 120 Hz instead of 60 Hz. So this might be the answer to Apple's low sales numbers on mini version iPhone. So until Apple decides to make a Pro mini iPhone, iPhone 13 mini might be Apple's last compact flagship iPhone.